Hello Commanders, welcome to the command table. My name is Matt, and we have a lot of different builds for you for today's Volcanus. So we're going to hop into that. We've got a lot of help from the community today. Before we get there, if you'd please be so kind as to like, subscribe, and if you want notifications when I drop new videos, be sure to hit that notification bell. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those below. Also, if you want to see any updates to the strategies that you see here, we post those over the course of the next 2 days on the Command Table Discord channel. You can see the link in the description of this video. We have open source PvP and raid channels, so you can hop on anytime and either learn or contribute, whatever you want to do. So join us there. Okay, let's go ahead and hop in. We will show you three video submissions. They're just in funky folders. This is Breather. He's got a nice accuracy build. He's got double barrier monk. So that's because he doesn't have any roots. Well, actually, I don't think that matters for the roots. But he's not using any roots. He's just right up there in everything's face. And just cranking it right off the start. So he's using the standard of the Ancient Defender. You wouldn't be able to get away with Toe with this build because we don't have the Merge Power Stone anymore. But yeah, he's got the archers there, so that puts him over the cap for Toe. But having everything right up next to the front there makes it real nice for reaching everything in the back, including the Ember Fiends and the archers, and it'll just knock it all out real fast. So I'm not entirely sure why he's using 2 barrier monks. I mean, I guess it works. So but yeah, he's got the towers there wrapped around in such a way that it prevents everything from moving forward, and that actually works pretty good with everything up close to the front line like he has it. But as you'll see with some of my attempts later, I'm not a huge fan of it, at least for my preferences. Okay, so here's BERZ. Oh, let's go with that. Okay, so BERZ is also using the standard of the Ancient Defender. He's got Ring and Spear. Again, using the Accuracy Elixir. I'm just going for the straight up nuke. He's got the Raynome, which I don't know why I don't use it, but for whatever reason I just don't seem to throw my Rhino in there very often. But yeah, the Stormcaller does a great job reaching those units in the back, clearing them out. And the Chaos Archers are fantastic for that too. You'll notice on all of my setups that I like to have at least one group of Chaos Archers, even if they're lower level than the regular archers. They actually do more damage than archers. I discovered that I plugged in my calculations wrong. I've done a big spreadsheet. You can find it on the FAQ section of the Command Table Discord. There's a link to it there. I did a whole big spreadsheet with all the DPS of the most common raid units. And I miscalculated on the archers because they have 11 units, not 16. And I think where I got the 16 from was that's the range of archers. Here's Hikaji. Okay, there we go. I recorded his recording for ease of showing here. But this is a very unusual setup. I don't think I've seen anything quite like this. No elixirs, which is incredible. So for SR9, if you're in that vicinity, this might be a very viable option for you. It's nice to see the Rime Lord getting some play there. It's also got the Eternal Champions, some Dire Wolves, the Rhino, and Monster Hunter. We'll rewind this real quick so you can see the setup right from the beginning. Okay, pause. Okay, so he's got a couple of bomb bots that'll take out the Thorn Guards in the front. Then the Dire Wolves are there for some AoE damage right off the start. He's got the Frost units just a little bit further back so that they can support, but very straightforward, very effective. Well done. Just watch that one more time. So the Thorn Guards and most of the Warhounds are cleared out by those 2 bomb bots. Once you start adding more Warhounds and Earth Elementals to the top and the bottom as you go up in star rating, this strategy may be less viable, but it's certainly very effective for where he's at right now. Okay, so we've already seen this. That's very, very fun build. I like that a lot. Okay, so starting off with my attempts for today, I figured, hey, I've got all these extra power elixirs and immunity elixirs build up because I've only been using accuracy for the past 30 raids. So I went ahead and tried a phylactery build, and it didn't go so hot. I think the problem with phylactery is that it doesn't have the upfront push that the Ring of Unity does. Ring of Unity, after I think 5 seconds, it bumps over to nature, and that helps you get a lot more push into the boss, whereas the phylactery, it starts with no stacks, and then every 3 seconds you get an increase to the run speed and attack speed. So there's just not enough early on clearing capacity on phylactery. At least that's my observation. I'm sure there's ways to get around it. You can't even use Blessed Bomb Bots because your units don't leave any skulls. So this one, I went back to my typical ranged build, and a couple things, typical, I changed a few things. The Storm Guards actually have the most damage of any ranged unit per army point. So I figured, hey, I'd throw them in there, and I put them in the way back so that they'd kind of arrive at my little cluster here right as everything was getting there, and they'd be able to knock things back and keep it away. But they end up just not really contributing much at all, and they all die, except for maybe these last 2. But they're just not terribly effective for this particular raid, at least with the setup that I'm using. So you'll notice that I don't get sufficient damage, partly because Volcanus is not in range of my spires. He's just way too far back, so I've cleared up everything too soon and stopped him in his tracks before he could reach the towers. So that's half the problem there. The other half is that that one unit is basically dead. So if I had another group of archers, I probably would have got him just fine. But I just wanted to toy around with some things, figure it's worth trying a few things each time just to see if there's something new that we can figure out. So this is kind of breather-esque. It's a little further back from the front line than his, and I've got the entangling roots. So similar, but again, some key differences there. This will run through the power stones. I don't think leech is necessary on any units if you kill everything before it reaches you, especially with something like this where you've pinned all of your units behind the towers, or the spires, sorry. Then you shouldn't have to worry too much about leech. You might as well have the extra damage. You see I've got Empower Plagued on the Celestial Spear. I took that off later. I was trying to keep it on there to save for my PvP build, but I don't need it on the PvP build necessarily, so I went ahead and switched it out for some more damage. But this one is very effective, certainly gets the job done. The Stormcaller manages to find their way up to the front line there and put himself right in the thick of things. But everything else is staying back where you kind of want it. The pendant is kind of causing more problems because we hit 20 seconds and it got frozen behind where the towers could reach it. So if you don't have pendant, then it'll walk closer into the range of the Frost Wizard, and then the Frost Wizard will shoot it once it's in range of the spires. So you might consider dropping pendant if you're going to use this one. At least that would be an improvement from the way that I have it set up right now. Okay, so there's that. Let me show you a couple other tweaks that I did. Blocking from moving. Okay, so I was using it on my second profile, and it didn't go so high. Oh, because I'm using toe. So I tried using toe because I've got less than the threshold for granting the bonus damage. and I get jacked. I'm not entirely sure what happens, but it just does not go so hot. Let's kind of go back through here and see how it goes wrong. So it's, oh, because I don't have the range, my bubble disappears because there's too many archers left. So the Stormcaller can't chain to anything up front. So I tried again. Just, I think I moved things up just a little bit, but it's still not close enough. I think Breather had it right, where you got to be right up on that front line, but that's, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little trepidatious of getting right up there into that ugly mess. Oh, and there went my Frost Wizard, and that's what ruined this whole attempt. I think I lost a Crystal Spire, and that's what let him out. So that's what he got around there. So I had a few blips there, but I just went back to my old setup. Let's see, this is it here. The thing that I like about this one is that everything stays back here because we've got stuff to shoot at. But once all that's clear, then it can all move forward and attack the boss, and you don't have to wait for the boss to come to you. There is an issue with this here. You'll notice the Celestial Spear is outside of the bubble. Fortunately, he never gets targeted, but I was kind of sweating bullets there on this attempt. A little concerned that I wasn't going to get him down this time. But there's plenty of other targets for Volcanus to shoot at, so it didn't end up causing me a problem. But I rethought that, and on the next one you'll see the positioning. I've bumped the Celestial Spear up into the space between the spires along with the Frost Wizard. Or, no, the Frost Wizard is actually behind. So I basically traded places with those guys. The Barrier Monk will be tagged onto the Frost Wizard back here, and it'll walk forward with the Frost Wizard. But with the Celestial Spear bumped up forward, he's still safe the whole time, but he's at least under the bubble when we reach this stage. So pay attention for that when we watch this next one, positioning here. See, there you go. I've got, let's just pause it for a second. Celestial Spear, Stormcaller, both in between the spires. Then I've got the Frost Wizard in the back with the Barrier Monk tagged to it. And once things start clearing through, the Barrier Monk will walk forward with that Frost Wizard. I think I've got Supercharge, double Supercharge on both of the routes. And I'm using the Standard of the Ancient Defender. I don't, well, I can't say I don't, but I rarely have any wasted keys when I use the Standard. I like that range. It's very, very handy. So this should run through the Power Stones. Yep, double Supercharge on the roots. That kind of stops everything in its tracks for that first few seconds. Don't need leech on anything. So long as you've got the unit levels to kill it all before it gets to you, then you don't have to worry about it. Blast is fantastic on the Stormcaller and the Crystal Spires, I think, because the closer stuff gets to you, the more damage you'll do if it gets within 6 range. So, oh, and yeah, double haste and accuracy on the Frost Wizard. And I think I've got Supercharge on the Barrier Monk. I might have missed that. But the Supercharge is great just because almost all of the damage that the Barrier Monk will take is in that first few seconds. And by the time that's done, the Stormcaller's cleared out all those archers anyway. But you'll see how everything just budges forward just enough, and they're not blocked by anything. We can get exactly to where I need to be. And since I'm using the Standard of the Ancient Defender, most of those towers can reach anyway. So we're all set. It's just a matter of going through the motions at this point, and we got him down. The boost has been fantastic because whatever your lowest level mythic unit is gets boosted way up to about the same level as all your other units, which is very, very handy. So if your Celestial Spear or your Stormcaller is really low level, you don't need to worry so much. Okay, so let's see. We already watched that one. Oh, and this is just in case you don't have a high level Celestial Spear. You just switch it out for archers and chaos archers. You can do any combination, 3 of one kind, 3 of the other kind, 2 of one of the other, any which way you want to do it, but 3 archers or 3 archers of some kind, whether chaos or normal, and that'll get the job done for you. Double blast on the storm caller there, very handy because it's got the fastest attack speed. I think the crystal spires have a 0.2 attack speed, and the Stormcaller has 0.1, so it attacks twice as fast as the crystal spire. So whatever's closest, that's going to be what it's attacking. And having that double blast on there, that's a 40% damage increase for anything that gets close. It's going to nuke the crap out of it. You see it just shreds through any of those little splits. But that should be it for today. Pretty straightforward. I'm probably going to run out of gems on one of my profiles, so I'm going to switch to a melee swarm with the blessed bomb bots that we used to do back in the day. And that, I don't know if I'll do another video for that, but there is the option for that, so you can look that up on some of our previous Volcanus videos. You just stack all your swarm units in the front using the ring and the primal warhorn, and then in the back you've got your blessed bomb bots. 2 of them to push to revive your swarm as they've gotten up to Volcanus. So anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate you supporting the channel. The best thing that you can do is subscribe. Special thanks to all those folks who contributed their builds and screenshots. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind, please hit that subscribe button. We're working on hitting 1,000 subscribers. Once we do that, we can apply to get monetized, and we can start funneling some funds into doing some fun stuff with the game. We'll build a website and do all that kind of fun stuff. So please support the channel. That's the best thing you can do to help, is subscribe, and we will have more content for you in the near future. Thanks for watching.